Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is all going to be about the hips, and this is perhaps the best drill and such a simple drill you can do to understand the really important role of your hips. If you are someone who's sliding excessively, this is really going to help you. If you're someone who's turning but you're turning too flat, that means the hips start to work this way, the shoulders also, your spine will straighten. Effectively, you're moving away from the golf ball, and that's going to be very hard to get consistency of contact. Again, this is going to really help. So the feel that I want to create here with my hips is that they are turning for sure, but also on a tilted axis. So I want to feel like my lead hip is starting to move down and in front of me this way, and the cane feels like it's starting to point a little bit down. Now it's not going to be anywhere near the golf ball, but it starts to feel like it points a little bit down. Now you may want to focus more on the trail hip. That is going to be going up and behind me, and as this trail hip goes up and behind me, look what happens with my knee. My right leg, my right knee, that's my trail side, starts to straighten. I get a lot of golfers trying to keep a lot of bend in this knee. Their hips don't rotate. They end up with a very short swing. Maybe they end up collapsing the arms to the top. As this hip moves up and behind you, the leg is going to straighten. It is going to lose some flex. So do not try and keep this pinned. It's got to work this way. So I want to turn and tilt, and that's the correct movement to really help me get my arms up and away from the golf ball here. But importantly, for the quality of strike, look how I've maintained my angles, my spine angles. So trail hip up and behind me, lead hip down and in front of me, and I've maintained my back angle, maintained my tilts in the backswing, and that's really going to help my quality of strike, my consistency of contact. We'll talk a little bit about the follow through, but let me hit one, just focusing on the backswing. I pick a side, whether you're focusing on lead hip down and in front of you or trail hip up and behind you. I'll let you decide. Maybe do the drill and then see what your preference is. But that's going to be my focus point. That was a little bit toey, but definitely got the sensation of what the hips were doing. And I wouldn't normally encourage you to be looking at your hips during the golf swing, but obviously I've got quite a visual here with the red alignment stick through my belt loops. So it works really well when you're making these swings to get the visual of what's happening, as well as then putting that into a feel. So I want to see that I can do it, see this trail hips going up and behind me, this is going down in front of me, put that into a feel, and then obviously I'd hit some shots without it. But moving these hips correctly is really key. So let's quickly talk about the downswing, the follow through, because really it's the opposite movement. What we do in the backswing, we're going to undo in the downswing. So trail hip is going up and behind me in the backswing movement. As I start the downswing, we actually need our hips to move forwards towards the target. So you'll start to feel like you're almost spearing the target, for me the screen here in the simulator, as there is that lateral hip bump. And as my hips start moving towards the target, you will see they're starting to rotate back towards being parallel to my target line. So they've opened up, they've got to get back to somewhere square. Okay, so that's the start of the downswing movement, and this might be the key part for you, that you're actually hanging back and you need a little bit more of this spearing movement to start your downswing. And this may be where you want to focus on this amazing drill, because it can really work on your backswing, your start of the downswing, the transition movement, and through impact. So the movement, quite simply, through impact, I'm not going to go too deep with this, is the opposite. I would now want my lead hip to go up and behind me, as my trail hip goes down and in front of me. So it's the opposite of the backswing. Trail hip, up and behind me, down and in front of me. If I focus on the lead hip, down and in front of me on the backswing, through impact, it's going to be up and behind me. So it's really going to help me get that sensation of creating some rotation. And there's huge power to be gained, not from just the rotation, but also the vertical forces, because I said that my hip here on the way through was going up and behind me. That is a big, big power source. I'm starting to use the ground. So let's focus a little bit on the downswing, the through swing movement. So my sensation there, and I was really on the follow through, I would focus perhaps more on the lead hip than the trail. But the sensation there was my lead hip going up and behind me, starting to rise. And that was a little quicker and that was a little longer. So I flew that 7-iron nearly 180. That was a longer, it's gone a little left to target, but I was just getting that sense of the movement through the golf ball. So this simple exercise can work on your hip movement, whether it's a backswing part, and you're just trying to rotate rather than slide or make sure you maintain your tilts, whether it's the start of the downswing and it's shifting your pressure towards that lead foot, or whether it's just getting open at impact, it's really going to help your game. Give it a go. If the video does help, smash the like button. Don't forget to put a comment below.